Hi, how are you? This is Iris Claesson and thank you for watching. I know this tutorial is slightly delayed. I did promise it around Christmas time. However, it's been a little bit crazy with Christmas. I was visiting my parents together with my best friend, and then we all came down to visit me here in the UK, and it's been really stressful. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. Now, in this tutorial, I'm not going to be talking much about my Christmas. I'm going to be talking about Azure Backup. If you've been following me on Twitter or you've been reading my blog, then you know that in 2014 I had not one or two or three incidents. I had several incidents where I had to recover data really fast, and it didn't always go as smoothly as you would hope for. And therefore I promised myself I'm going to create the most awesome backup plan strategy ever invented, or at least something that kind of barely works. At least I have something. So I'm going to be blogging about how I'm managing my backups at a later point, but this is a part of it. So Azure Backup is not the only way I am backing up everything that I have. It's just one of a several part solution that I've come up with, which certainly isn't perfect. Now, I didn't consider Azure Backup until mid-December because that's when the client support was officially released. So I thought, well, okay, I'll give it a try now. The first time I gave it a try, it didn't go too well because I had really slow internet connectivity. Trying to back up just 1 gigabyte of data took me over 4 hours before I decided on interrupting the service, which turned out to be a little bit difficult because I was completely unable to kill the process either by using PowerShell or the task manager, which definitely is a first for me. So it didn't go too well, and the few files it had managed to back up actually said they had catalog errors. When you look at the log file of your backup, every single file had a catalog error. So I think that the internet connectivity was just really poor, and that's why I had the slowness and also that particular problem. However, Azure Backup is slightly slower. I'm not really sure what to compare it to, but I've noticed that some other people are making remarks about the slowness of it, but it is what it is. And I found it was working fairly good once I got back to UK and I had a decent internet connectivity. I've, however, only tried to back up 1 gigabyte of data, and I think I'm going to try with a bigger data set and see how that works. Azure Backup is incremental backup, and you have several options and configuration options that you can apply if you want to. But I've just gone with all the defaults in this tutorial. This is a very basic, let's get up and running and let's see if this thing actually works. And once I start learning Azure Backup a little bit more in detail and I learn more about the configuration settings, I'll make another video that, probably will give you a little bit more than this rambling. But anyways, I hit record while I was doing my backup, and then I just added a voiceover and this fantastic intro video, just because I'm a little bit bored and it's about time I blog again. So anyways, I'm gonna quit the rambling now and we're gonna go straight to the demo, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. Any feedback, always welcome, and have a fantastic day. Bye. First of all, I made sure that I logged into the portal and then just selected New Data Services, Recovery Services, Backup Vault, and Quick Create. And then it's just a matter of giving this a name. I'm just making something up random here. And then you can select region. You have several regions to choose between, and I'm going to select North Europe because I was in Norway at the time. It's going to take a little bit of time to set up the backup vault, and once you have the backup vault, we need to download our credentials to set things up. However, first I'm going to go ahead and download the client which supports client backups. As you can see, the address was there at the top. If you go back, you'll be able to see that. I'll add a little text box here as well. So I'm downloading the package, and you can actually download this package from after you set up the vault as well. I just want to make sure that I point out that there is this specific update for clients, which I'm sure they're going to update in the Azure portal as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and set up now the program itself, I'm going to skip setting any specific proxy settings and go with default and just click next, 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 install. It doesn't take a lot of time to install this. It goes fairly quick. The next step is setting up your registration. And as it's doing that, it's going to ask for your Vault credentials. And this is something we're going to grab from our Vault. As you can see here, you can download it from the startup page, and it's going to go ahead and grab the file for us. And I'm just going to wait, and I have to click again because it's just really slow to download. So really horrible, horrible internet connection. Now I can go ahead and go to my downloads folder here and grab our Vault credentials, which are good for, was it 2 days or 2 hours? Well, they're not valid forever, that's for sure, and that's a good thing. So it's going to validate and make sure that we have everything correctly. I'm going to paste in a super long passphrase, which you should do as well. I tend to just use a random password generator for that and make sure I save the passphrase somewhere. I'm actually not going to keep it in my OneDrive, but for now, just quickly select something. With that said, it's going to now launch the Microsoft Azure backup program. And we can go ahead and schedule our first backup. It's going to fetch some policy information, and then we can go ahead and select the items to backup. Now, for this demonstration, I'm just going to select my whole C drive. You obviously don't want to do that, but you can add exclusions as well if you want to. But this is just to demonstrate, and I'm going to cancel this afterwards because it's going to take too long. Now, setting up a good backup time for me, maybe in the evening, and I'm going to remove the one that's been added there in the morning because I don't want that. And you can set it weekly, daily, or however you want. I decided on having it daily. And if you want, you can also change, the properties which we skipped on setting earlier. For example, the bandwidth usage is going to have. Now I'm just going to confirm this, and we're going to let this create the backup schedule. And once this is done, this is basically all we need to set up our backup schedule. However, I'm going to go ahead and make a backup right now. So I'm going to select backup, and it's going to start doing the backup. Now you see this window here, you can actually close this down. It's going to continue in the background, and as I said in the beginning, this might take some time. For me, that time was almost forever. So if you want, you can check out the forums on Azure Backup and make sure that that it does take a while. As you can see, a lot of other people have been discussing how long time it takes to do the backups. So if it goes a little bit slow for you, you're not the only one, and people are upvoting. Please make it go a little bit faster. And while I'm in here, why not go ahead and actually give this a couple of votes? Let me pull this down. And I'm going to give this 1 vote because it's not terribly, terribly important for me. So anyways, this is how you go ahead and do an Azure backup. Make sure you keep an eye out on the forums. And if you have any feedback or opinions about this, make sure you share them with me. And I know this was kind of a shitty little tutorial, but anyways, this is what I had for you today. And I hope you had a fantastic Christmas and you're excited about the new year. Thank you for watching and take care.